Hello, good evening, everyone, and welcome to our live reaction show for the Xbox Games Showcase and Starfield Direct, where we'll be discussing the announcements that were unveiled during this year's event. Hello, for those that you don't know me, I am Jessica, and joining me today will start top left, Donnie. Hello, Donnie.
Evening.
Hello, we have Deadbeat Punk. Hello.
Well, good evening.
And
I've got a sticker stuck to me. It's my troll
shoulder.
t-shirt. I haven't worn it before.
And we've got 30 FPS Craig. Hi. You're on mute.
And also silent.
Good start.
Fucking hell. Hello, Baz.
Okay, so if you are new around here, we are Pure Dead Gaming, a group of Scottish gamers who produce lots of video games, related content such as written reviews, a weekly podcast covering the latest games and news, plus additional shows and, of course, video content here on YouTube. If you're not subscribed, please hit that little button and help support us. It will cost you absolutely nothing, but it means a lot to us. And, of course, you can find everything else you need to know over at puredeadgaming.com. So, with the PlayStation Showcase and Summer Game Fest out of the way, attention now turns to Microsoft and Bethesda's dual-purpose Xbox Showcase and Starfield Direct. We got just over an hour of game announcements and trailers, and then, 45 minutes-ish of Starfield as well. So, yeah, let's just kick things off and kind of run through what we saw. First up, opening the show was Fable. Fans have obviously been waiting ever so patiently for any news on the next-gen reboot of the beloved fantasy RPG franchise, and the showcase finally delivered with a reveal courtesy of the It Crowd's Richard Iodade. Is that how I can't remember how to say his name, but
The fucking It Crowd.
It's the It Show.
How often have I get that? How often do I have that TV show on? The fucking It Crowd.
Do you know, it's just because I've written it like that. It's just because I've written
fucking
it like that.
Out right now.
Apologies.
There's no full stops.
Yeah.
For fuck's sake.
So yeah, no release date for Fable, but like Xbox other first-party offerings, it will be on Game Pass day one. Thoughts on this?
Who wants to go first?
Don't know. Didn't fucking see anything. Yeah. In-game engine cinematic. Great.
Well, for anybody worried about Playground continuing on, they got in the British actors. They kept the comedic elements. Looks like it's in safe hands.
Yeah, I mean, what we saw, I liked. I think
it looked fucking gorgeous too.
I think part of the problem is it's like what I said. I think I've said it in multiple shows recently, where I still don't think, or I didn't think that these games were far enough along, and I still believe that now. Like, not even a window. Like, I mean, this is 2025 easy. But what I will say is, I wasn't sure if it would be for me, and just seeing the lad on the screen there, I'm day one now. Like, I fucking love that guy. He plays the same fucking guy in everything he's in, but he's just I really enjoy him. And like you say, I like that they showed that they were going to be going for the comedic elements. And so to me, that was a big plus. And yeah, it did sort of give me confidence that they do get the series. But yeah, how far away is it?
I think that's going to be a running theme throughout the night.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, sorry, time of show. Throughout the recording.
Yeah. Yeah, that is. Obviously we're going to get into it, but I mean, it's been a long-standing problem.
Everybody was saying this is a troubled production. This is, a team that's never made an RPG before. How are they going to handle it? And it just looks like, yeah, the concept's there.
Yeah, the concept's there in a way of a cinematic, which is great, and you're right, it does look great, and I wouldn't have expected anything else, but it's far too early to comment on whether...
But it's a cinematic of the tone they're setting for the game. This is the foundations, what they're building on. It's incredibly strong.
Yeah.
As someone who's never played a Fable game before, I thought it looked really cool. I don't know, do you think I need prior history of the franchise to jump in on this one?
Which will be another theme throughout the night. It's on Game Pass if you want to try it.
That's true.
That's true. I don't think you will. I don't think you'll have to have played any of the previous games. I can't imagine. I think it's gonna stand on its own 2 feet. But yeah, whether it'll be for you, Jess, I'm not sure. I would say
give Fable 2 a try, for sure. And like I said, it's on Game Pass, no harm in it. I think that's a good place to start. And
that's
then
what I said earlier. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I don't think there's any reason you'd have to have played any prior ones to enjoy it.
Well, even the previous 3 weren't overly connected. They were all standalone in their own way.
Yeah. But again, I think the question remains: how far away? How far away is it? Is it it's bound to be at least 2 years, like you said, Craig.
I think it has to be. It's got to be. If they were even thinking it was going to be 2024, they would have had the 2024 logo, like wording at the bottom, which they did on many other games. So, I can't imagine. I can't imagine it is. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, I want to see more. Obviously, like I think it's almost like don't get me wrong. I really liked what we saw, and I don't mean to put it in this sort of bracket because I was more down on Metal Gear Solid 3 than most, but I almost feel like at this point it was almost the least they could show. Like with Metal Gear, although with Metal Gear, with this, I was more pleasantly surprised by the people involved, by the sort of whimsical nature of it. So I was higher on it than Metal Gear 3, but at the same point, I still think that like we sort of knew it was going to be at the show, and since we knew it was going to be at the show, I don't think they could have shown any less than this, personally. But no, I thought it looked good. I've got more confidence that Playground know what they're doing now than I did last week.
It's a nice one to start off on too.
Yep. Okay, and then next up we saw South of Midnight. So this is a brand new IP from We Happy Few and Contrast developer Compulsion Games. So the trailer was rather mysterious, but there is a blog post that's been published since the show, and it says it's a third-person action adventure that will follow Hazel, who was introduced in the trailer as she tracks down supernatural creatures that have spilled into the world. Thoughts?
I like the tone of the trailer, to be fair. A familiar word I'm going to use, obviously, no gameplay again, but I like the tone of it. I like the setting of it, the kind of dark machines. I like the detail in the guitar playing, which we're seeing now, which I thought was very, very cool. So yeah, I'm interested to see more. But again, gameplay, please, come on.
Yeah, gorgeous claymation style to it. Hitting Game Pass. What do you want?
Yeah. No date again. Did it say a date at all? I didn't write a date down.
No,
Didn't spot one.
No. I echoed the two of you. I thought I really liked the style of this. I thought everything about it. I was like, oh, it's almost kind of like, I don't know, kind of Pirates of the Caribbean vibes a little bit from it and stuff. Like I thought it looked really cool, but is it a fucking third person game? Is it a first person game? Is it an action adventure? Is it a looter? What the fuck is it?
I just told you it's a third person action adventure. Were you not listening?
Right, but shows that, and you have to show.
Post, yeah,
you have to actually show me how that's going to be. That's a very vague. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
shouting at Jessica, show don't tell. She didn't fucking organize the event.
But I just mean, like, what are we using mostly? Are we using swords? Are we using guns? Are we using our cocks? What are we using? Like, I need more information, but I thought it looked really cool. And that is a theme of the night. Like, I thought they showed stuff that potentially could be really awesome, but we need to see more.
But it did seem like they started off with things that are distant projects. Later on in the show, it seemed to be nearer or closer.
Yeah, I noticed that too. Yeah.
But yeah, anything that catches your eye, it's just, oh yeah, I'll play that.
That's the thing. I mean, obviously we'll get into this a bit later, but there was maybe 3 or 4 things they showed that weren't on Game Pass day one. So, I mean, it's definitely, they're, what they're going for. Like it's the Game Pass machine, and for better or worse, that's what they're going with. And I mean, if you're someone that's on all consoles, you're kind of quite happy with that because it gives you something else. Like I've got my subscription box, I've got my PlayStation for like the AAAs that I like. I've got the Switch as a fucking doorstop.
Harsh on the Switch. Yeah, no, it was. To be fair, that's the one thing I did note down. It was a good night for Game Pass. bar a couple of things, which are most obviously third party, including obviously Star Wars, which was up next. Yeah, most of that stuff is all hitting Game Pass. So, as someone who's subscribed to it, or anyone that is subscribed to it, it's a good night for you.
I think, I mean, as I touched on the podcast, like I think, if there is any changes to the service going forward, a price increase, like they have to like get these people in now. If you're not subscribed, look at everything that's coming, and reel those people in as best they can before any potential price hikes. Okay, next up we saw Star Wars Outlaws, which is an open-world narrative-driven game by Massive Entertainment. The trailer's end revealed that there will be a full gameplay walkthrough on tomorrow's Ubisoft event, so that's at 6 o'clock if anyone plans to tune into that. What was our initial thoughts on this one?
Very cool. I really like the look of it. Again, it's such a similar theme because it's like the previous couple of games where you're like, right, but how does this run? Because it's by Massive. The guys, they made the Division, didn't they? So you're almost expecting a Division-style game. But from what I saw in that, I didn't get Division-style vibes. But I mean, I guess it probably is going to be. I thought it looked really cool. The graphics were massively impressive. It looked really, really good, facial animation-wise and stuff.
Yeah, again, it's hard to tell.
Sadly, we know what we're going to get. We're just getting a Star Wars skin. But yeah, definitely up for it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I want to tune in more with the Ubisoft one to maybe get some gameplay and see exactly what we're dealing with. Because Craig, like you said with the last game, what kind of game is it going to be? What are we getting here with this? Yeah, listen, the visuals look great. I think the female lead looks really interesting, but this is
that your way of saying you'd do her?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Do a hole in my mattress. But this is where we were 3 games in, and I'm starting to go, where's the gameplay? Where is it? What the fuck? And everybody in the chat, Twitter, all now at this point starting to say the same thing. What have we seen here? We're 5 minutes in and we've seen fuck all. And that's a bit for me that starts to get disappointing now as we're hitting the 3rd game and we're still seeing hee-haw.
What I would say though is at some point, like, see when this game first showed up, I was like, I can't believe this is another thing Ubisoft are fucking letting go before this showcase. It's like they've got a hole in the bottom of their fucking sack or something. But the fact that, I mean, I think this was obviously quite clever for them to get a teaser like this out. I think it showed well, and then tune in tomorrow and you'll see gameplay. So, yeah, I mean, it's one of these things that in hindsight, like, see if this shows really well tomorrow, in a week when you look back and you see the list of games that was shown at the Xbox showcase, you're like, right, holy fuck, that was a big one.
Yeah. Baz is asking, do you think it'll have a large co-op element given Massive's pedigree? For me, the only vibe I got off this was certainly single player vibe.
I think it will have co-op though with Massive, surely. It's like I said, I got the impression from that trailer, it looked more like Assassin's Creed meets Star Wars to me, but I think it's going to be way more Division meets Star Wars, and we just didn't see it massively in that trailer. Which
I'll take, because I like Division, to be fair, so and I like Star Wars, so
yeah,
I'll actually be up for that if that's what we're getting.
I'm for it.
Even though it's Star Wars.
I'm not against Star Wars, I just don't have the background and the lore.
Yeah.
Okay then, next up, Payday 3 got an official release date of September 21st, and of course it's heading to Game Pass as well. So there'll be new skills, gadgets and weapons to the franchise. I think this was revealed at the end of 2022. But yeah, I think there something I read between the shows was that there's going to be cryptocurrency and dark web involved somehow.
Oh, sweet. We can buy kids.
Yeah, there we go. That's just picked up.
Settle, Jamie.
A joint and a minor.
So, yeah, this one didn't jump out. It doesn't look that much different from Payday 2, but maybe if you got off your face and played it in Game Pass, possibly.
Yeah.
Graphically, it looked poor.
I thought it looked shit. Yeah. It didn't even look last gen. It looked 2 gens ago, to be honest with you. Yeah, I wasn't quite sure what to make of this at all.
These games do well though. Like the first two really found an audience. I think it will probably be a fairly successful game. I was like at this point when they were showing it here, I thought, that looks pretty good. But when they went into gameplay, when they went into gameplay, I thought it took a bit of a dive.
Yeah, it looked very similar. We've seen it before, but low barrier of entry. If you got 4 people together to try it, hey, might kill a few evenings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
that's probably the
shooting place is always a good time.
Yes.
Every time, see with the previous 2 games, like when I think it was Payday 2 I tried, and I liked the idea of it, but like again, being me, I'm like, right, okay, so can we do this stealthy? And there was always a point where you could sneak in stealthy, but then I'm sure it was the second game, but it was as soon as you like blew the safe or whatever, you couldn't do that in a stealthy way. And at that point, it then turned into almost like a wave shooter, and I was like, nah. Fuck this. Like I wanted, like you'd spent all that time like sneaking in stealthily, and then there was no way to then go out the same way. And that sort of did it for me.
Yeah. I thought the gunplay looked good. As a shooter, it looked good. I didn't really see many issues with that. I'm just the visuals for me was the off-putting bit.
Ulster Bank DLC, yes, Baz.
And Couchy saying Payday 2 never grabbed him.
Who the fuck has grabbed Couchy? You and
I'll fucking grab him. I'll grab him.
Me next weekend. I'll be grabbing him. All right.
You're mine, Couchy.
Licking his back when he's trying to sleep.
Yeah. If you don't know what we're referring to, Play Expo Glasgow does take place next weekend on the 17th and 18th of June. Yeah, so I'm just plugging it down below. There are still tickets available should you wish to grab some. We will be there, so you can come and see our lovely faces in person. How exciting.
We're honestly actually quite nice. Don't call the police.
We just buy minors in the dark web.
By then, it's too late. Save your credit.
To be fair, it's like kittens. If you don't buy them, they get put down. We're doing a service.
Sorry, how does that work? If you don't buy the tickets, they're going to kill everybody at the expo?
That's pretty much... No,
they're going to put down the nerds?
You're saying about buying minors in the dark web. If you don't buy them, they put them down. You have to buy them.
Right, I'm moving this conversation on, Craig, before you...
Throw them up, stick them in the mines.
No. So, Persona developers Atlas accidentally announced 2 games earlier than intended. You may have seen on their Instagram account they posted trailers for Persona 3 Reload, a remake of the 2006 RPG, and a grid-based tactics spin-off, Persona 5 Tactic. Both confirmed at the showcase. What was your thoughts on these games?
I thought it was really funny because the marketing job did come up the day after this leak happened, so it did look like somebody got fired right away.
Really? I didn't know that. That's amazing.
Donnie, you've played Persona games before.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3's rough, so I'm glad it's getting quality of life improvements. Nice to see it coming to the service. Tactics, all over that. It looks really like the Mario and Rabbids game, but with strange little people.
Yeah, I mean there was an Atlas theme tonight, starting off with this one. So you can see where that's that marketing budget they spent in the Far East.
Just want Japan to love them, and they don't.
Yeah, that's starting to come to fruition now, isn't it? That money they spent marketing 2 years ago, we're starting to see it now. But I noticed that Tam has put something in the Discord about it's not the full version. Yeah, we'll have to look more into that. It's not the full version, seemingly.
Right.
Unless there was a PSP port that had extra things added to it. Unless it doesn't.
Yeah, so it doesn't include any of that, including the female protagonist. Yeah, so it seems like it's the basic version.
I thought the Tactica game actually looked pretty cool. I like the art style and stuff like that on it. I don't know if I've never played a game something like that, but just aesthetically looking at it, I was like, that looks actually quite cool.
Yeah, Persona's art style is great. If you're into it.
Sorry, I'm just playing about with the view because I feel like I keep cutting somebody off. So apologies for that.
Just cut me off. That's fine.
Strobe.
Yeah.
What I would say though is like I did think it was funny. So obviously this got leaked. It was Friday night, wasn't it? On Instagram by Atlas, and I did think it was sort of a little bit poetic that Xbox got 2 games leaked, because they are the absolute masters of leaking games ahead of time on that Xbox store. I don't know what is up with that store, but there's the amount of games that have appeared on that thing, and that's where the leaks came from, is unbelievable. So, yeah, I thought that was a bit poetic, but other than that, like, it's a shame in a way, because like that's a big get for Xbox. Like,
yeah, that would have been a nice surprise.
And it turned into pretty much a nothing announcement, because everybody's like, well, we know.
We know, yeah.
Just before we move on, did we skip 33 Immortals?
We did.
Yes, we did.
Spiritfarer.
We were saving it for the 33rd game.
Oh, of course.
Hades Light.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I thought when it began,
Same.
but then more characters came up. It looked like an RTS then.
Yeah.
So 33 player co-op, apparently.
Yeah. I want to know why 33. Why not 30 or 35? Why 33?
Because the game's called 33 Immortals.
Really?
The synergy.
It would be really dumb if it was 35 when the game's called 33 Immortals.
That's too far, man. I'm far too rough for that kind
Maybe
of.
Maybe it's like an insurance claim thing. If you go over 33 people, then your rates just go through the roof. And it's like, no, keep it to 33. We can manage.
Or 33s where the server taps out.
That's probably more like it, actually, to be fair. Maybe after 33 it started chugging and they were like, fucking, that's it. That's a lot.
Don't you use the word chugging, please, after your last conversation. Just leave that out. Yeah, but no, listen, I thought 33 models, I thought, as a visual point of view, I thought it looked really good.
And not think chugging. Fucking hanging together.
I'm fucking hanging all right. I thought visually, this looked really good. Like you said, Hades vibes. So I'm given the fact that it's Game Pass, I think I'll try this. Because again, like you said, Punk, you get 4 or 5 people or 32 mates, if you happen to have 32 mates. Go nuts.
All the gang.
Yep. All the gang.
I didn't see a fucking cat in it. In Spiritfarer, you could hug a cat, and it was the best thing about the game.
You can hug a cat.
Hug that fucking cat. Dandelion, I think it was called. Adorable.
Witcher 3. Dandelion, wasn't it?
He was Dandelion, yes.
Yeah, he was Dandelion, yeah. Anyway, we digress.
As we were.
Yes, indeed. So next up, Avowed was officially revealed. It's coming from Obsidian Entertainment, the renowned RPG developer behind games like Fallout New Vegas, Outer Worlds, Grounded, and last year's Pentiment. So Xbox finally shared a new look at the game, giving us a proper look and release window of 2024. Mixed reactions on this one from what I've seen.
I do think Avowed's kind of a strange one because it was originally conceived as their answer to Elder Scrolls. And now that Bethesda is part of the family, they don't really need an answer to Elder Scrolls because they have Elder Scrolls. So, yeah, it's like there's no gap in the market for this one. But it's Obsidian. They've written some of the best games the last few years, so have faith.
Yeah, I think you've got a point saying have faith. It's Obsidian, but the downgrade on the visuals on this, holy crap. And I'm one of the ones I was shocked at how bad this looks. This looks really, really bad.
Well, it's definitely cartoonified since we last saw it, but I didn't think it was that much of a downgrade.
I thought from the earlier I thought it did.
It's not as serious. It was.
Yeah, it's got more of a sort of cell shading light, we could call it. I saw someone saying, "Oh, it looks like Sea of Thieves," and I thought I can see where that's came into
not a million miles away.
Yeah, but I must admit, considering this game has been hyped for the last, we'll call it 3 years, could even be longer. I was expecting something a bit better looking, I have to say. I think this, Jess said it, the reaction, I think the reaction says it all in the Discord on Twitter. This probably got more, up until Starfield, this probably got more chat than anything else.
So we were quite warm on this, but
I thought the visuals, I didn't have any problem with the visuals. I thought the combat looked a little bit ropey myself. But
if it was going to do Elder Scrolls, it would have to.
Well, that's true. If it's trying to mimic it, it's doing a good job. But yeah, I don't know. It's not necessarily my type of game. Like, I couldn't give a fuck about Skyrim, but I don't know. I think the comment "have faith." It's Obsidian. I think does hold true just now. Like, they tend to put out pretty good games, but I did think the gameplay didn't look great. But I didn't mind the art style and stuff.
Nice
But
to see
these
it's
bits here,
vibrant.
see when they were
These get very
swinging the sword
grey.
there, I thought,
Yeah, very Elder Scrolls.
yeah,
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, it's obviously still a bit out, like, but I did expect a better trailer, but I want to keep an eye on.
Not your kind of game either, Craig, to be fair.
No, not really.
On fucking Game Pass. What more do you want?
I want Game Cat. That sounds fucking brilliant.
Hey, hug that Game Cat.
Let's get a Game Cat one. I just put my Game Cat outside.
Okay, so next up, Sea of Thieves is getting a free DLC expansion based on The Secret of Monkey Island, free from 20th of July. So according to Xbox, your adventures will have you meet Guybrush Threepwood and his beloved Elaine, dreaded ghost Captain LeChuck, Murray the demonic talking skull, and more iconic characters. So I think this has been like released in like 3 parts or something, like 1 per month. So you were quite excited about this one, Craig?
I really like Monkey Island, but I don't like Sea of Thieves, so it's not going to do anything for me. But it did say something about like a campaign or something like that, but it's not a proper fucking campaign where you can play it yourself and fuck everybody else off, and that's what I want. So it's an IP that I'm interested in a game that I'm not. But I mean, this is one of these things where we all sit there and go, nah, not really for us, and then fucking millions of people are playing it. Like, it does well. You can see why it's there. It's on season 10 for a
Quite
reason.
a lot of people playing this still. I might jump on when this comes out just to try it, because there's no levels or scaling or anything in Sea of Thieves, so you can just drop in.
Yeah, I think Sea of Thieves fans are in for a treat. I think this will be really good because Monkey Island's so popular as well, and obviously, we had the sort of remake last year, Craig, which I think you got the platinum, didn't you?
First in the world, Donny. Can I just interject? First in the world, with no caveats, not a single fucking caveat.
I mean,
there's early or nothing.
There's Ryan in the chat saying Sea of Thieves a great time with a group of people, can lose so many hours in it. And I think if you're playing it or have played it, I don't think it's a hook for someone like me. I've played like 2 hours of Sea of Thieves. I thought I'd just try it one day. It's not a hook for me to go, oh, I'm now going to play this. But I think if you have invested some time in it, then I don't see why you wouldn't try it. I'm assuming it's not a paid expansion. I'm assuming that I didn't.
No, it's free.
It's a Game Pass 20th of July.
Nobody's listening to you tonight, Jess. Just
I know. They're not, are they?
Terrible. But yeah, it's such a natural fit as well when you see it. As soon as it came up, there was that initial shock. And then it was like, of course, the 2 biggest pirate games in the go, get them together. Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Especially after the game last year. Like, it makes perfect sense.
Good timing.
Got a lot more people into it.
Yeah.
Are you guys super excited for industrial transport cargo?
No.
Well, so hold on. It looks cool. It does look cool, but it's not for me. But see, if you like this sort of stuff, it's fucking cool. But it's not.
I must empty half the hard drive, load it up again, crash into my house, and delete it again.
There is that, yes. It's a biggie, and there's also a Dune crossover. So they've partnered up with Legendary and Warner Brothers. I'm not familiar with Dune, but I believe there is some sort of aircraft that they have introduced also.
The film was great. The remake last year, or not last year, a couple of years ago, was great. But
yeah, nice to see it. Seems they have the area as well. It's a long download just to try one flight.
It's a bastard.
Yeah, I've no interest in flight sim at all, to be honest with you. Visually, listen, I think it looks great. Because Jess, did you not put a lot of hours into it?
Yeah, I played it quite a lot. Yeah. I might jump into this one. I like the idea of maybe some of the kind of challenges that you're doing, like picking up. I think there was something with like a like, I don't know, like picking up a celebrity and taking them on their private jet somewhere. I like the idea of doing little kind of tasks and challenges like that. It looks quite fun. So I probably will ask
There was
Craig
even the
very kindly
Top Gun
to free up
stuff
some
as well.
space.
Yeah, you're
It's a
right.
nice
Aye,
tie-in.
Top Gun.
Mhm.
And then we're
But they
getting
do good
Dune, obviously,
tie-ins.
as well. They need to. That's the thing. Like, it's I think, see, with the team that make this, like, it must be quite frustrating because they've made a genuinely fucking excellent game that's technically not really properly a game, and I think they need to find ways to make more people go, all right, that's quite cool. And so it sounds daft, like, oh, you've got to go and pick up a celebrity and drop them off there, but that gives you something like quote unquote meaningful to do that might make you go, I'll pick that up. And I think they need more of that, because I played that a bit, but at the end of the day, like, other than flying over my house, I was like, right, I'm fucking done. Like, I flew over my house, I flew over Celtic Park, and I was like, that's me. Like, whereas if there's actually stuff to do, and like, then I would maybe be more interested, but I need more of a focus.
Because it's not anybody saying it's a bad game. Everybody says it's impressive, like visually stunning. It's just, what do you do if you're not very much into your simulation? There's no goals, there's no objectives.
And that's the thing. I didn't really appreciate until I think you said to me, Jess, that it's actually like real-time sim, as in, if it takes you 8 hours to fly in real life, it takes you 8 hours in the game. And I'm like, what? I just assumed it would be, 5 minutes. We're there.
I think you can adjust the flight times, but you can have it 100% realistic or speed it up a bit. Or
and real time like weather as well. I think that's cool.
There was an achievement in it for doing an 8-hour flight with full manual controls. And there was people that were literally like getting fucking chairs and setting up as if they were actually in a cockpit and getting ready for like a full 8 hours. And you couldn't put it on like autopilot at any point. You had to fly the fucking thing.
Jesus.
It was something like you had to fly from like Munich to New York or something like that. It was whatever was the closest to an 8-hour flight, and you had to do that actually 8-hour flight. And only like something like 250 people have ever got the achievement.
There's always a novelty too. That's like the train sims or bus sims. Just get really drunk. I'm flying a fucking plane. I'm loaded.
Well, so are most BA pilots. So
that's true.
That probably ties in quite well with the simulator theme.
Intercom going. I'm singing The Gambler to all the passengers. They love it.
At least it's not the wolf tones, I suppose.
Shall we move on?
Biggie up next.
Was it?
Yes, so Xbox has confirmed that Senua's Saga Hellblade 2 will arrive in 2024. A new trailer was shared as part of this evening's showcase, and we were shown some gameplay, although it was a cut scene, but footage was captured with the Series X, and they confirmed, that it'll be coming out at some point in 2024. I think a lot of people had hoped it'd be this year, so probably a bit disappointed, but it's good to get a release window nonetheless.
Yeah, I was hoping for an end of the year for this one. It's just gorgeous what they can do with that Unreal Engine and the shift between gameplay and cutscene. Almost seamless.
It looked really good. I don't know. I've got more faith in it now. I was worried, and they didn't show a lot, to be fair. So maybe maybe I'm getting ahead of myself, but I don't know. It
was even the sound designs back with the plum. Like even the sound design on the trailer was fantastic. I didn't even have my fantastic headset on to get the most out of it.
I was worried that they were going to move away from a lot of that, and like it did seem to, like I say, they didn't show a lot, but they captured, for me, I thought they captured the sort of essence of the first game, which is exciting. But I mean, again, I think it's one of these things where it ended on a little bit of a disappointing note, because I know a lot of people were hoping for 2023. I didn't think it was coming this year, but I thought they would have said early 2024. But the fact that they didn't,
there was that much knocking about. Like a lot of people had this tagged on for the end of the year, and you hear something often enough, you kind of believe it yourself. And
don't be wrong, it still could be early 2024. But the fact that they haven't committed to that, I mean, it could be fucking November next year.
But it's looking like it's shaping up to be that single player narrative adventure that Xbox is sorely lacking at the minute.
What do you think, Donnie?
Where's my gameplay? Where's the gameplay again? We got
that was gameplay. Like, that's what the game's like, though.
Yeah, but the entire night is about 3 minutes of gameplay this entire night, and the rest of it's all just this. seeing gameplay here. I want to see what we're doing in the game. Give me some more. We've been waiting for this game for 3 years. It's not far away. They could show us more. They could show us more than this. Again,
They're
that's another
obviously
one.
I think it is. I think the worry is it is far away.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, could be, but
like they're working
that's all they've
hard on
got to
it.
show.
They're on the Unreal 5. They're obviously really putting their all into it. And
yeah,
again, one of those
They're taking
companies.
an ice
a lot of
age.
faith.
yeah,
They are, yeah. I mean, you can't rush it.
yeah. When you've been waiting, how many years now? And I think
Well, it was the
that's what they
launch
showed us.
when they revealed the Series X itself. This was the game they revealed
Yeah.
with it. So
Yeah.
The last game came out in 2017, so it's been 6 years. So I mean, it's gonna need to fucking land when it comes out. It's gonna need to land pretty big. And like the footage they show there, I'm like, it looks like it will. But I just, they need to. There's a lot of talk about them being perfectionists and stuff like that, and I appreciate that. But we need to see this in 2024. It can't slip any further.
juggling 5 or 6 projects again. It comes down to management, but they're making emotion engines, like they're making facial, like all that technology will save them time further down the line. But at the minute, these things do take quite a bit of working on.
Yeah, I think as a marketing piece, though, to show the game off, what they showed looked amazing. I get what you're saying, Donnie. Like some gameplay, or more gameplay would have been nice, but I don't know, like 5 minutes of gameplay that's not quite ready, I think doesn't produce the level of reaction that they're going to want. So I think that, as I say, as a marketing piece, I think what they showed delivered.
Well, yeah, I mean, if that's what you're, if that's what you're after, if you're after a cinematic trailer, effectively, if that's what you want, then fine. But it's not what I want. And we were quick enough to slag off Sony for doing it 2 weeks ago, but we're not holding Xbox to the same standard. And
but I would say that's absolute nonsense. Like we come on here and we were quite positive about Sony.
No,
we all said it was mid. We all gave it a 7 out of 10. Said it was mid.
We said it was a good showcase, but it was nowhere near what we thought it would be. We didn't jump on them, and that's what's happening here.
But we said, where's the gameplay? We said, where's the gameplay? No one wanted to see a trailer for fucking Fair Games. We wanted to see gameplay, but
we sat and said it looks good.
No,
if you read back to it, this looks really good.
I didn't. I said we didn't see anything. Fair Games, we didn't see fuck all apart from a fucking stupid trailer. And Hellblade, you can say, nice trailer for UE5. Well, fuck, you can go on YouTube and look at a trailer for UE5 if you want. Do it right now. Show me what Hellblade 2 is. Show me what.
I guarantee you, what they showed today of Hellblade is in the game when you're playing it, because that's the way that game's shot.
That's not what you're playing. It's a representation of what UE5 will look like.
Well, that's not gameplay because I'm not playing it. That's somebody else playing it. So it can't be considered gameplay.
But it's not something you're controlling, and that was a cinematic. The fact that it's in engine isn't
control as well. There was a transition.
That was control, because that's what Hellblade is. Hellblade is half like that. Like it's. I mean, don't get me wrong. There is some combat. There obviously will be combat. They could have shown that, but that is what Hellblade is.
There was a little bit of walking at the start, but that was it. There wasn't. That's not what you're playing in the game. That's what I want to see. I don't think that's asking a lot. The game's not that far away.
No,
surely there's more to show. That's what I'm asking.
They could have shown more.
That's all I'm asking. And like Chris is saying, it's no different to what they showed in 2020. So what's changed in 3 years?
There's more of the game ready.
Show us it.
It's closer to release.
Show us it then.
Just did.
Hopefully it's closer to release.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on to the next game that was shown, which was Sega's Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth.
I keep struggling saying this developer's name. Ryuga Gotoku.
Yeah, RGG is what I'm going for. RGG.
Where's Callum? Where's Callum when we need him?
Fuck knows. Shouting at men in women's bathrooms.
I thought as soon as this came up, I was like, where's the fuck's Callum? We need this. Did we know this game was coming? No.
Yes, yeah. It's a sequel to what I know is Like a Dragon.
It was coming. Or they've got their own showcase coming up, so I assumed it was going to be saved for that.
They do. It's at
Microsoft
Thursday, 15th of June at 4 a.m. if you're super, super keen for that one.
Possibly.
Hmm.
I do like a naked Ichiban.
Well.
But it speaks like Jeff Keighley was only able to get the spin-off. This is the next numbered entry in the main series. Again, Microsoft getting this, they're curtain away at Japan, even though they don't want any bit of them. They just keep pushing it. This is a big get for them.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, again, I'm sitting going, no gameplay again, you know what I mean? I'm like,
But
this
this
is a game I'm
Sega
excited
that's
for,
got this one going.
Yeah,
And
I know.
Yakuza is all trailer.
I know. But you know me,
That's
I
true.
love
It's
I
not
love the
trailer.
first game, so I'm excited for this.
The 7th.
Yes, it was 7, wasn't it? Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
still
Oh,
calling
wait,
it
is
Like
this-
a Dragon. Yeah, it's Yakuza,
This is
Like
Yakuza
a Dragon,
8,
the
Like a
turn-based
Dragon.
one.
Yeah.
This is a sequel to that.
I thought this trailer was really good, and you've just absolutely shat in my fucking cornflakes.
It's my game. But what I didn't notice was it didn't say it was Game Pass, because obviously Like a Dragon is on or was on Game Pass for a considerable amount of time.
Day
Well,
one,
they
wasn't
still
it?
are.
Was it day one?
I think Like a Dragon.
No,
Like
Like a Dragon wasn't. It was
No.
added later.
Yeah. So
Right.
I assumed it was going to be Game Pass, but clearly it's not because I didn't see it.
Wait a minute,
Wow.
though. Like a Dragon? Was it not
Mhm.
a case that it came to Xbox, but it
It
only
got
came
the
to
next gen
PlayStation
version.
4? Aye, and then PlayStation 5 version came like 6 months later or something
Yeah.
weird.
So it came
Right.
out in 4, but it didn't have a PS5 version until that exclusivity was over.
Right, okay.
It was a strange one.
I thought this trailer, I don't know, I just thought it was really fun. It looked really
That's-
good.
that's-
It
Summed
reminded me
it summed
of...
up Like a Dragon, didn't it?
Well,
It
it seems
reminded-
that
it
he's been
reminded me of
dumped in
Dead Island
America,
2.
so it's kind of, ooh.
Yeah, I was
Whole
going to
new
ask because the locals on the beach were all English speaking, so
Mhm.
presumably it's a different setting to
Yeah.
previous games.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm
Yes,
not sure how
quite
it's
giddy
going
for
to
that
be.
one.
Mhm.
As a
Yeah,
big
same.
reveal for them too.
Yeah, excited for this because I love the first one. Or
Seventh
one.
one.
Seventh one if we're being pedantic. I know. Callum
we
explains
are.
it to me all the fucking time, but I'm just like, pfft. It's Like a Dragon sequel in my head.
Okay.
I'm going to need to try this. I need to
It's
try it.
turn-based. You
Definitely
don't
up
do
your
it to
streets. The
yourself.
humor is fantastic.
Don't do it to yourself, Craig. It's
It's on
turn-based.
Game Pass. It's free. You love it.
You'll get pissed off, and then you'll text me, and you'll
You'll be
ask
like,
me
"Oh, this is a
150
Jack move.
questions.
Oh, yeah, this is really modern, but turn-based. I like this. It's a good mixture. Octopath.
It's-
That wasn't so bad.
Don't
It's not going
encourage
to
him.
It's not going to come
Don't-
close to Jack move.
Don't encourage him, please.
It could be a close second.
I don't have the patience. Please don't encourage him.
Maybe.
It's me that gets the texts, punk. It's me that gets the fucking messages from him.
Oh, well, that makes a change, doesn't it?
Okay, next up was Fallout 76. It's getting like Atlantic City shape DLC coming soon.
Well, fuck this. Fallout music starts, little logo comes up. I said, oh, could this be? Because there's been talk about Obsidian and then Exile working on a Fallout property. I said, could they? Could it be a cheeky little? No, was it? Fuck. Well, we're going to Atlantic City. Is it? You've got New Vegas. If you want to go gambling, go to New Vegas. No, right. Talk to myself. Bastards.
Yeah.
No need for it.
I've
I
just
have-
wrote down. I wrote down. I wrote down I enjoyed the tune. I wish the game was good. Thought the song they
Just
made up
wish
was pretty
Fallout
cool.
76 a day. Who's playing it?
Aye. Loads of people, unfortunately. I don't know why, but they are, and it's fucking annoying.
Yeah, I'm with Baz in this one. Give us new Fallout, not more of this, Bobbins. Load of bollocks.
Absolutely.
Fuck everybody that plays it.
Aye. Yeah.
Shall we move on?
Indeed.
Yeah,
I
let's.
can't believe it's. I can't believe it's so big. I genuinely thought it was going to die in its arse, and then I hear this. I was listening to some podcast, and they're like, "I know it's played by millions of people every month," and you're like, "Oh
With
my god!"
subscriptions, microtransactions, it's holding its own. Sure, Fallout Shelter made more money than quite a few of the entries.
Hmm. Yeah. Fuck's sake.
Okay, then. Next up was Capcom with a somewhat trippy-looking game, Path of the Goddess. Did this do anything for anyone?
Yeah, I'm all over this.
Yeah, I thought it looked great. Yep.
That RE engine can turn its hand to anything. This looked
Mhm.
amazing.
Yeah. I thought the colors, the visual, I thought it looks absolutely beautiful.
Thought it had a
I was-
bit of a Okami to it, but Not cell shaded enough.
But no, I thought it was great, and Game Pass as well. So
Get it right in there.
No risk. No risk.
Typical Game Pass fodder.
I thought it did look quite cool, like the color palette and stuff. I wasn't really sure of the combat, but I mean, like you say, Game Pass, I'll definitely try it, but I'm not totally sold. But it looked all right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. It looked the parts, but that engine, I'm very impressed with that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, I think I want to see more. Definitely. Did we get? No, we didn't get a date, did we? Yeah, I mean, look at it. It just looks beautiful. Really, really impressed.
No window.
Give me more. Give me more.
Hit the stuff with the swords class.
Never a bad thing.
That's true. That is true.
Okay, who called them showing off a car? Because I thought a car was coming, and indeed, cars appeared. So Forza Motorsport
cannot fucking help himself.
No, Forza Motorsport is heading to Xbox and PC on October 10th. The trailer highlighted the game's partnership with General Motors. So there's a Cadillac 5 Series R and a Corvette E-Ray, two rather slick looking cars, to be fair. They will be part of the roster of cars available when it releases, as I said, on October 10th. Are you going to add that to your wee list of games, Craig, for that crazy week?
Maybe. It's going to be it's a big one. It is, like, it's not particularly for me. I prefer the Horizon series, but it looks good. I think we'd said earlier in the week the over under 5 minutes, and I think it probably was under 5 minutes they showed. Obviously, they are showing it a lot more on Tuesday. I think it was planned in for this extended showcase on Tuesday, and so it's going to be fucking great, isn't it? It's clearly going to be fucking great. It's just it's almost like it's got to the point now where you just don't really give Xbox any credit or Playground any credit for. No, it's not Playground, is it?
No.
They do no. Sorry, they don't get the credit they deserve for this because everyone's like, well, it's a new Forza, it's going to be great. We'll probably play it, and it's I don't know.
To be fair, if they didn't spend so long advertising General Motors, that's apparently okay. Then it probably wasn't quite the 5 minutes, Craig, but it maybe sneaked over with that.
A little peek behind the curtain for anybody listening in, but we kind of rushed notes. I certainly did. I don't know. Maybe you were all well organized, but all I put down was vroom vroom.
Vroom vroom. The technical term for it.
And I thought my time would be better spent elsewhere.
Yes, yeah, talking Forza. Yeah, and Couch is reminding us that it's turn 10.
Turn 10.
Turn 10, that's it.
Yeah. Would have been here all night.
I mean, it's a can't miss. It's going to be good. Like, it would be the biggest of shocks if this came out and wasn't fucking excellent.
Oh, it's going to be excellent. But I get it. I played GT7 and see, after 2 hours, I got my fill. I think Forza Motorsport, I'd probably be the same. Yeah, tried it for a few hours. I prefer Horizon. Like you, Craig, it's just a bit more relaxed in the arcadey. And when I inevitably fuck up, I can press a button and rewind. And there I am, fixing that corner that I've tried to take 140.
It's like life.
Absolutely. So the sim side of thing, I think you need to be pretty hardcore, but I think this will be a huge, huge hit. And it will score very, very highly.
The only potential for it not to score really highly is if it's short on content at launch, because they are planning this to be more of a sort of ongoing game than the last one. I don't know if it's full live service, but yeah, I think they're planning this to be like sort of the game for the next 5 years rather than making another one from what I've heard. And so it could be, there's only fucking 97 cars and we really wanted 98 cars and we're not happy. So.
I was going to say, mind they made all the consoles, the variations and designs for the car types. If they had more console types than cars in the actual game when it launched. I fucking love that.
Okay, moving on then. We have the long-running Elder Scrolls Online getting bigger and more expansive. So Necrom DLC is out now on PC and console players can get it on June 20th.
I can pretty much just copy and paste what I said about Fallout 76 for this.
Yeah, I didn't even write it down.
Yeah.
I just
In
want
the
to punch
fucking
everybody that
bin.
plays it in the face.
Yeah.
Get in the bin.
Yeah.
Straight in the bin.
bother.
This looks shit. This made me
Knock,
angry.
knock. Who's there? Your fucking front teeth. Boom.
Aye. Fucking hell, man. It's just it makes you realise that.
I'm
like,
glad we've
you're-
got a varied panel here that we disagree about every single title. It's fantastic. It would be a boring listen otherwise.
It's just it makes you realise how many stupid gamers are out there that fucking resources keep getting into this shit.
It's just such a
Harsh.
time commitment. Are there not other games you could be playing? Like
Well,
Overwatch 2.
The Overwatch 2, I know.
Another one. Here we go. 2 in a
Yeah,
row.
which I just wrote down Overwatch 2, and that was it. That's all I wrote down.
I've got 10th of
Okay.
August just for a little bit more context, but
I
yeah,
didn't
that's
even
all I've
include
got.
that.
Details.
I didn't write that.
What got
be honest with
me,
you.
they cancelled the solo stuff in Overwatch, if I'm
Yes.
remembering the stories right. But they've introduced co-op missions and training modes by the look of it. Or did I pick up on this wrong?
No, I think that's right, but maybe that was just easier to do. Or I don't know. Like I'm very much an outside. I've never even played Overwatch 1, but from what I understand, the second game has not gone down particularly well. Although it's still got a really big player
Right,
base.
and that's you
so-
getting punched. Elder Scrolls.
There you go. There had to be fucking one.
Aye.
I'm sorry.
He's like, don't insult my game, you fuckers.
But yeah, I don't know. From what I've heard, like I keep hearing nobody say a good thing about it, but then I keep hearing that the number of players is quite high. So
Well, I'd imagine because they closed down the first one to basically replace it with 2, which is more like 1.5, with the
1.5,
promise
yeah.
of all these extra content or extra
And a new
player
character
modes.
coming, isn't there? I think. Yeah.
Yeah, and they just cancelled a lot of it, and people are like, well, what's different between this and the original?
Yeah. I think PvE is getting added, isn't it, at some point? As Richard just said, there's some PvE stuff coming, but massively stripped down.
Load of bollocks.
Indeed.
seems like a shame.
Activision,
Because
who'd want to buy them?
they were on a massively good thing with Overwatch 1. Folk loved it, and they just seem to
Yeah.
have made a right balls of it with
One of those ones
bringing out
that
another
lost
one.
momentum. Like, it was really, really popular for a while, and they just kind of stopped adding to it. People fell off casually over time. And I thought to kind of capture that again with the sequel, but it just doesn't seem to be hitting. It's just retained fans. It hasn't really won anybody over.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, next up was Persona 5 Tactica, which we spoke about. Then they snuck in a little Starfield trailer. I'm not really sure, middle of the show.
Just to wet our
Yeah.
whistles for the big grand finale. That's what that was. Yes.
I didn't like this. I didn't like this at all. Them putting that in the middle. Like, obviously, we'll
Aye.
talk about
It's a
Starfield at the
strange
end.
choice.
I just, when you're going to be showing 50 minutes of it at the end of the thing, I didn't think it needed to be in the middle of the show as well, personally.
Oh
but
no, wet the whistle, man. Get you pumped for it. Ah, yeah.
I thought, see, when it appeared,
Plus-
I thought what they were doing was going into the Starfield 40 minutes and then they were going to come back and finish the show.
Yeah, finish it off like a bookend.
Aye, but I thought it was a bit weird. But I mean, don't get me wrong, like, it's what they showed looked fucking great, but I didn't think they needed to double dip.
Yeah, we'll come back to
Never mind.
Starfield at the end. But following that was Jusant. I don't know if I'm
Jusant?
pronouncing that correctly.
Jusson, that's what a bit of
Yeah.
French Jusson.
Yeah,
I thought it was
so
great.
yeah, it's like a little action puzzle
Mhm.
climbing game from the Life is Strange and Vampire developer Don't Nod. It's coming
Yep.
to Xbox Series XS and Game Pass in the fall. So in the trailer was kind of like a lone climber, quite a vibrant world, scaling different kind of terrain, with a little creature on her back, which a blog post subsequently posted says that's called the Ballast, and it's made entirely of water. So
Nice.
yeah,
Yeah, and I thought this looked really great.
I've just finished Planet of Lana, and it kind of, I was like, oh, it's kind of like that, but like a 3D version. So I'm quite excited to try this one, definitely.
Same. I thought this was kind of one of my highlights of the showcase, actually. I think certainly in our Discord, guys like Chris, I think would, if he had an Xbox, would be all over this as well. Sort of his type of game. But yeah, I think this could be a little secret or a little silent burner. I think, yeah.
Now, see, Don't Nod still in the mix too. I did like their Life is Strange games.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
hopefully the
wonder
little
how-
water thing doesn't die. I don't think I'd be able to take that.
Maybe the
Can
little
water
water
die?
things there so that you can have branching narratives, because they do love a branching narrative.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder how they're going to fit that
Water
into a
drop
climbing
will remember
simulator.
that.
Maybe it's just
Exactly.
hydration.
I thought this looked really cool. I liked it. And what was saying about Chris there, like I think this will be coming to PlayStation probably day and date. Like they probably just haven't announced it yet. So, but yeah, no, I thought it looked really cool. I'm interested to see more.
Yeah, there's Chris saying it's on PlayStation.
Ah, cool.
Yeah. It is funny seeing another company do that, revealing something and sticking their logo branding on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been a
They
running
fucking
joke
love
the
it,
last
don't
2
they?
weeks, isn't it? Yeah. You think it's exclusive? No, it's not. Nope.
After that, Still Wakes the Deep.
This looked. I mean, it's obviously like well, I got kind of survival horror vibes from it, and I thought it looked cool. But again, they did not show much. Like it's one of these ones. Like when I reflect on this showcase, I think they showed a lot of games that have the potential to be really good, but you have to prove it to us. And I mean, they had a window at the end of this, early 2024. If it's that far, if it's that soon, you should have been able to show more than this. A fucking damn sight more than this. But it looked cool.
Yep.
Yeah, it definitely set a mood, but didn't do much apart from that.
Yeah, that's
No
it.
point
Yeah.
setting a frame if you don't fill it.
Yeah, frustrating for me.
It's one of these ones where I wouldn't be
Go on,
surprised
talk over
if
the top of everyone.
Sorry. I wouldn't be surprised if we see more of this at that extended showcase, but that doesn't help tonight.
Yeah. That's the thing. You know, if I'm going to be consistent and say the gameplay thing, I got the kind of creepy vibes from it, you know, but I didn't get much at all from it. And to be honest with you, anything that's going to be creepy in deep water, I'm out. You know, the shite bag in me ain't playing that. I hate going too far out in the sea as it is, you know.
I've heard awful things about the seaside in Scotland.
Absolutely, man.
That's where Cthulhu lives.
And Nessie.
And grab your willy while you're going for a wade. Not into that.
Well, Craig, what are you doing with your hands there?
Craig Cthulhu.
Nothing good.
No.
What the hell are you doing with your hands, you fucking weirdo?
Some of us are double-handers.
Dungeons of Hinterberg coming 2024. That's all I wrote for this one too.
Yeah, I like the art style of this, and I keep trying, or I have to keep telling myself it's not Dungeons of Hindenburg. I don't know why I keep saying that, but I thought the art style in this looked really good. Again, it's another one coming to Game Pass as well. I didn't write a date down. Did I miss the date?
Coming 2024.
2020. Kind of a familiar theme that coming 2024.
Something's becoming a catchphrase.
Yeah.
Next year is going to be the year of Xbox.
Yeah. What's by saying? I like this gave me Okami vibes as well. Yeah, so Baz is on it as well.
The traversal looked really good as well. I liked how you kind of cut about the world. I thought it looked really cool. It's got all the sort of hallmarks of an indie hit, but it's just annoying to hear it so far out.
I agree.
Okay, so no Idris Elba, but we did get Keanu Reeves introducing the long-awaited release date for Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty, which is the September 22nd this year. Oh gosh, here he is.
This was definitely his first read. He did not practice the script.
What the fuck modulation did they put in his voice? It was weird as shit,
He
wasn't it?
looked
I think
so
he was
awkward.
clenching his jaw the whole time. He was kind of giving that vibe.
Yeah.
So
It was
fuck,
really
is he angry at the
awkward, I
cameraman?
thought, actually. It's almost like he was going for the kind of... It's almost like he was trying to be in character, I thought. Is that what you're doing? Are you trying to be Johnny Silverhand? Just be Keanu Reeves. Just be your normal self.
It's Keanu Reeves. He's only got one role.
That's he's only got one.
He
I know.
couldn't do it tonight, but that's all he does.
Yeah. I find it quite awkward.
Strange time to try out a new persona.
Yeah. So we did also get information that it takes place in a previously unexplored area, I think, called Dogtown, and the mission is to kind of save the president when Air Force One crashes. So,
yeah, I mean, more
Yeah.
more Cyberpunk. I'm in no rush to jump on this just because of every game I've got on at the moment. But I do think I will get round to it. I'm not sure how I feel about the fact that obviously you're not going to be controlling V, which I think is a bit disappointing. Because when I've got an expansion, I want to use my character that I spent, 60, 70 hours building. So I'm a bit disappointed in that. Don't know. But listen, Cyberpunk was great.
Are they skipping that Metroid thing where you start again and lose all your powers? Or
well, I just get the impression that you're not V at all. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how they're going to do it. So
remember finishing in Valhalla and you had Excalibur, the legendary sword that could cut everybody in half, and then you started DLC and it may as well have been a shitty stick for all it did. So
which is going to be interesting how they're going to do Final Fantasy VII Rebirth as well, isn't it? So don't know how they're going to tie that in. To go off topic.
Is that the boy with the big sword?
The boy with the big sword. Yeah,
hitting things with swords is class.
What the fuck's Craig... a Final Fantasy?
Oh, shut up. I take it you're getting this, Craig. Or you seem like you lap up and bum up Cyberpunk all the time.
Oh, they've probably sent it to him already.
Probably.
This is definite day one for me. I really liked what we saw. One thing I would say though, like at one point you saw like a big mech and it looked like you were going to fight it, and I fucking hate
the Metal
shit
Gear.
Like that. I hate shit like that. I really do. But other than that, I thought it looked really good. I think it'll have a strong narrative. I'm in day one for this. Absolutely.
Cool.
Nice to finally see it after all the rumors too.
Mm-hmm. And it's the worst kept secret. And it's soon, yeah. Dropping very soon. And I think is it 30 quid, I think?
It'll need to be pretty. It'll need to be pretty expansive for people.
I mean, they were saying it costs more than the Witcher 3 expansion because
so it needs
considerably more game.
Yeah. I mean, for that kind of money, I'm expecting 20 hours.
I think you will get it.
Yeah. Yep, for sure.
A highlight for me, City Skylines 2. So earlier this year, at the Paradox announcement showcase, we saw the sequel revealed for the first time, and it's, I think, an evolution of the game. So, the next installment is coming October 24th, again in that crazy October period.
But at least I suppose it's a game that you don't need to play day one. You don't need to play any game day one, but you know what I mean? It's a game you can pick up. Like I jumped on City Skylines a few months ago. I was just lying in bed and I was on the game, sir, and I just played a little bit of it because I used to like SimCity back in the day. I think visually, Craig, you said the same. This looks really good from a fidelity standpoint. It's a nice leap up from number one. But I think if you're not really into the sort of city builder, or you've maybe not got experience with SimCity, I don't think it's for the casual person. That's the only downside. Maybe being harsh. I might be being harsh there, and it's got a bigger pool than I think. But
it's got a quite addictive element, though. So see, when you start it, I don't know, there is like you want to grow and you want to get more things. So it could take people in if it is quite a leap from the previous one. I spent a lot of time in it.
I haven't played them. It just seems like that is a 4 a.m. game. I've got work in 2 hours. Brilliant.
Yep. And then you're driving about the town and being like, why don't they do this? They should really have an overpass here because this traffic is ridiculous. Like you start thinking about it in your daily life.
Why's no one got power? Where's my power lines?
Especially given our areas, there are roads here that were made by how cattle walked and aren't wide enough for 2 cars. So why don't they just fucking fix this?
Just by the way, to come back to Cyberpunk, Rich is in the chat saying you do play as V in Phantom Liberty. Right. Okay.
Oh well.
So have to see how they work that in then.
On City Skylines 2, I think it looks fucking great, and I really enjoyed the first one. My main concern is that I think it almost, don't get me wrong, there's games that look better than it, but it almost looks impossibly good graphically. Like it seems to me like for the size of studio and for the fact that you're going to be building expansive cities and stuff like that, and the fact that you can just jump in and start driving about in it and stuff like that, like, I don't know, it's such a leap graphically from the first game. I don't know. It almost seems like a fan-made trailer or something like that. But it's I'm looking forward to it. And like you say, it's one of those things that where I don't necessarily think it will be hurt coming out in that busy period, because it's very much a game that you could play alongside something else.
Yes,
it's very, very different. So
yeah. Was
yeah,
was
looking
I the
forward
only
to it.
one when the trailer started that went, "Oh, look at all that popping," when it wasn't? It was supposed to be. It was to show. It was showing like the buildings like growing. I was like, "Look at that popping!" Fucking
Almost like
idiot.
you were poised, ready to attack for no reason.
Oh yeah, straight on that fucking Discord. Look at it. Didn't get that on PlayStation.
I think this, if it looks like that, I think this might struggle though. Like in terms of like frame rate and stuff like that. I don't know. There's just
Well, it is
I
coming
know
out
there
on
was some weird
PC
looks
as well.
there.
I wonder if they used that footage. Did it come up with it
I
at the
think so,
stamp
aye.
at the start? But
Maybe. I don't know. I feel like it just looks too shiny for this studio. And I loved the first game, but I don't know.
We've got John C's in the chat, and he's saying he can't wait for it. He says, "Hope they've got smarter roads and traffic AI." Obviously played the first one. He's saying you built 50 roads and everyone used the busiest one. So clearly, obviously, more
Aye.
roads didn't mean anything.
Maybe that's just your bad management, John.
Oh,
Oh, fucking called her
Get a
out.
fighting talk from Jess there. She's like, "That didn't happen in my city."
No, it probably did, to be fair.
Nick
Okay,
felt bad about
next.
trying to punch Ryan. That was uncalled for. See you and your roads, you shite roads.
In fairness to Ryan, you won't be the first or last to try to punch him.
Oh, you couldn't. He's adorable.
Okay, next up, Atlas brings Metaphor RE Fantasio to Xbox consoles next year. I don't have much to say on this one.
I've wrote down what and a question mark, and I was hoping that you would fill in the rest.
Vroom vroom.
What the fuck? This was aye.
Yeah.
No,
Again,
move
to
on.
repeat
This
myself
was
from
straight.
earlier, Japanese title. Xbox keep knocking on that door. Whether anyone answers, I don't think so. But
yeah, if the sales data shows anything, nope. They put a plan in place 2 years ago, and it's not working. But they can't renege on these deals, can they? I think they're regretting it now for sure. But
I don't think so.
the
It's got
deals
them
are good.
attention. A lot of people share the Atlas stuff. It's got them in the eye. But
Yeah,
You've got
Spencer-san,
you've got to admire the
What's
hustle,
happening?
but it's
Nah, I'm
big
sorry. When you're
not gonna
selling
work.
200 consoles a month, right? It ain't fucking working, people.
when they've got more Japanese
You know.
games on their service than the Japanese company, it's something's gone a bit strange here.
It looks
Ryan,
good optically. I
Thank
think.
you,
Yeah.
thank you for the offer, but even with your consent, no. You have a lovely face. I wouldn't like to break it.
Another one, Towerborn, coming 2024. Again, I don't have much to say about
Vroom
this.
vroom.
No,
It's probably quite good because it's from the Banner Saga guys, but it's
Yeah.
it's not something that I'm going to play.
I thought this looked great. Again, this sort of I love the cell shading.
That's a
the
co-op
side
one.
scrolling. Co-op, yeah, and to be fair, the sort of side scrolling sort of hack and slash I do like. And what I liked was it said that it's ever changing. So I wonder if it's got. I was thinking, well, is it sort of like self-generating levels? Is that what it means by that? So I'm quite intrigued to see what that actually means. I
Yeah,
can't
it
remember
can be
the technical
Golden
term
Axe
for that is.
vibes. It's like a modern one of those. It's like,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
could go
yeah.
for that.
Yep. So no, I actually like the look of this. Yeah, give me more.
Vroom vroom.
The Vroom Vroom 2024. It said again, it wasn't a specific date, but Game Pass as well. So
What a fucking year that is, by the way. Year of dreams.
It's the year of Xbox.
Aye.
And then the last sort of proper gameplay trailer ahead of the Starfield one that we got was Clockwork.
This looks
Revolution.
fucking awesome.
Yeah.
NXI
This
are
looks brilliant.
such a great team. If anybody's played any of the Wasteland titles recently, I think they're all in Game Pass now as well.
Yeah.
Oh, they are your top-down click RPGs. Again, fantastic writing. Wasteland 3 is a fucking treat. Another co-op one. And yeah, very giddy for this.
I thought it looked fucking brilliant. I really, really thought this looked brilliant. We'd heard rumours about this, and so I was really excited to see it. And I got some Bioshock vibes from it.
So
I
did
got
I.
some
I think we all
Dishonored
thought it
vibes.
was.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, oh no,
think-
I'm playing about with time and it ruined time. stop fucking about with time.
I'm not sure because I'm not a big fan of steampunk, but because it's got the kind of cell shading, I might enjoy it more. But steampunk's not my cup of tea at all.
You were
so
saying
not, yeah, so it's probably not for me. But I do like the color because normally steampunk is very dark. Obviously, it's always gothicy, whereas this is nice and colorful and light. I like BioShock Infinite and loads of other things. So I may be tempted to try it based on seeing more gameplay and stuff. It wasn't a dig, but otherwise. Not so much for me.
Punk, see, obviously you've got previous. Like I've never played any of the Wasteland games. I've been recommended Wasteland 3 a few times, and it is something I would like to try out at some point. But this looks obviously something quite different to what they've made before.
This is very different. Their previous games would have been like old computer RPGs, point and click, like grids based, turn based affair, which this doesn't seem to be at all. So
no.
The rumors were it's a first person shooter. So
the little bits of gameplay that Donnie was ignoring, it is a first person shooter. Yeah.
I said, "What's more gameplay?
Blinks
more gameplay."
Oh, that's all right, you know. And if they show too much gameplay, it would be boring, and they should do something flashier. But sure, stick to your guns.
Thank you.
How far out is this though? Again, like not a window. Like if they'd any inkling that this was going to be 2024, they would have said. And so again, I think we're looking at easy 2 years, which is disappointing because I see this and I want it.
That's all right. We'll get Perfect Dark before then.
Right. And that coming in due time, that was like a fucking that was like getting a fucking cock in your ear. That
was meant to be cute, but it stung.
It did.
Based on every other date we got, yes, it stung. If they'd shown that first, maybe we wouldn't have complained about that.
And see, the thing is, like, obviously they planned for the whole thing to sort of roll together as one, and it did. But essentially, that was the main event slot in your showcase. That was the last game they showed, other than Starfield. Now, I would think if you spoke to Phil Spencer, he would say, no, Starfield was the main event, and technically it was, but you could take these as two separate events, and if you did, then that was what they finished on. So you tend to think they must have quite a lot of faith in it, which is good to hear. But again, obviously really far out, potentially.
Yeah, I've kind of treated it as two separate events myself. I think it's, it's an Xbox showcase and then there's a Starfield Direct. The fact that we're showing
separate hashtag emojis.
Absolutely. Yeah. So okay, for you guys then, the show ends there. There's no Starfield, so let's just judge it on what we saw. What are we saying? What's the consensus? What's the scores? What's your feelings on what you saw? Don't all jump at once. I mean, it's not a complicated question.
What is the base? What do we give Sony? A 7 out of 10? So
I gave it a 7, and then the next day I was more kind of closer to a 6, but I kind of hovering about 7 mid. I said it was mid.
Well, what did we get? 27 games, 26 if we're not including Starfield. Even though it was
Phil said 11 first-party titles and 14 games from creative partners.
21 of them come into Game Pass, so yum. So whenever they do show up, you'll get them for basically free. And there was a lot there that was rumored, not leaked, like the Yakuza Like a Dragon. That was such a shock when it showed up.
Yeah.
That's strong. Would have liked to see more this year, but if we're not counting Starfield, 8 for me.
Okay. I would go probably a 7 again. I know that sounds like I'm sitting on the fence, but I just see. I think for me and my tastes, I think Xbox had more games here that I think have the potential to be stuff that I would play, but I mean, I don't know. Do you know what I mean? I'm looking at it here and I'm thinking Star Wars Outlaws. I thought that looked really good. Fable, I thought that looked really good. our faces are covering a lot of these, like Clockwork. I thought looked fucking brilliant. City Skylines, like stuff like that. I think that even that Like a Dragon game, I think there was more here that I was like, oh, than the PlayStation Showcase. But at the same point, there was so many of the games where I'm like, but it could be shit. Like you didn't show enough. Do you know what I mean? So I think they were of them. I think they were of a muchness, to be honest. Like I don't think there was much between it for me.
That's kind of how I'm feeling. I think if we had gotten more gameplay, I would have said it was higher. I'm marking it down purely for that. Like, you know, things like Fable and stuff. For me, you can't give credit for that. That's why for me, I think it was as mid as PlayStation's was. I see no reason to mark it any. I mean, there's varying stuff. You know, like Baz is saying he gave it a 3 initially, which is very harsh. I'd now say it's a 5 or a 6. Ryan
Baz
saying
is a straight shooter.
He is a straight shooter. Yep. Ryan saying 8 out of 10. He got everything he wanted. Couchy loved the games on show. Would like more solid release dates. We've all said that. And Rich is saying 8 out of 10 as well.
And that is 8 out of 10 without including Starfield for me. With it, the 10, 11. This is brilliant. And such a future landscape of things to play.
So see, just in terms of that, I put out a few polls just to kind of gauge, and it's obviously, sometimes I think it's difficult to do this when you're coming straight off the back of a showcase, because I think it's a bit hyperbolic to say emotions are heightened. Like, but I mean, I suppose Baz there saying he's went from a 3 to a 5. Like, your initial impression sometimes isn't your impression a couple hours later. But so the first poll I put out was thoughts on the Xbox showcase, not including the Starfield Direct at the end, and we got 181 votes. 54% said great, 31% said good, 9% said disappointing, and 6% said bad. So they were quite high on it. But I mean, to be fair, like the internet, when I went onto Twitter after the showcase, I wasn't sure what to expect, but I knew I was going to get strong opinions one way or another. And there was like people seemed really, really high on it, like more so than I was. I mean, even here, like obviously we'll maybe go into this in a second, but I asked which of the 3 showcases did you think was best? And again, there could be recency bias from this, because people, if they've just seen something they liked, they're still on a high from it, whereas they've had time to settle with other showcases. But for that, we had 265 votes, 69% said Xbox, 17% said Summer Game Fest, and 14% said PlayStation. Like, if I was to go off all 3, I thought Summer Game Fest personally was the top one for me.
Yeah, I think see if Starfield was tomorrow and we just got this showcase, there's no way. I think that the Starfield thing is what's pushing people judging the whole thing and saying it was the best because of the Starfield.
Well, it's the reveals. A lot of these were rumored; they weren't shown. Everything at Sony was shown before. Like Mirage was the best thing about it, and we knew about it. Like, yeah,
but then I would argue with this showcase, you know, the big Xbox games, the big ones. We've been hearing about these games for 3, 4, 5 years now, and some of them we don't know any more about them. So we are getting the same thing over and over and over. You know, Fable, Avowed, you know, to name 2, Forza Motorsport. So there's a bit of that. Look, that's big, you know. That's a big part of this.
To be fair, but the guy from the It crowd is in Fable. So
crowd.
Simmer down.
Yeah, Couchy saying the same as the PS1 7.
Jimmy woke up.
Yeah. Yeah, Couchy
Jessica,
saying,
what was your score for the show?
I don't know. There's certainly a good few games that I'm going to dip in, and I think for me the hook is the fact that there's so many on Game Pass, because I will try, and I think that's the thing. Like I don't know. There's probably games that I wouldn't buy, but they're on Game Pass, so I'll give them a go. So yeah, I'm quite favourable to this one. Probably a 7, I would say.
There's
but I do think Summer Game Fest was the best out of the 3 showcases.
Same. Mitch in the chat saying Fable was the highlight, Avowed was a letdown. I think that the latter commenting, a lot of people saying very, very similar.
See, right, so we're going to transition into Starfield, but see, before we do, I do have to say that fucking new Series S that they showed Get that thing in the fucking bin. I cannot fucking believe for the last year. Now, don't get me wrong, the Series S, for what it does, it's a really good machine. We have one. What it can do for what's in it, fucking ideal. But to me, they should be trying to pivot away from this thing. And instead, what they've done is they've brought out a more expensive one just because it's got more storage. The only fucking selling point of a Series S is that it's cheap as fuck, and you've went and made it more expensive. I couldn't believe they fucking brought that thing out with his big smug face, as if he was, as if he'd fucking won the lottery.
We've been listening to your feedback, and we've got something to show you.
Oh my god,
the big boy Series S.
It's tone deaf as fuck. But hey, it's black.
I thought he was going to announce fucking 100 gig free storage if you've got a Series S or something, like cloud storage or something. Oh my god, what is this thing all about?
If they give you one of those little, the little expansion car, little, for free. There you go. There's your reward for sticking with this fucking potato that you're lumbered with now that no one wants because they're shit. And here's a little free expansion card for you.
I couldn't believe they brought it out. Look at it there, looking perfectly average.
I mean, it looks nice in the black, but
it does. It does.
I think it's missing the contrast to the white with black. It just doesn't.
Yeah, pop. Actually. Yeah.
Like, never mind. I was going to
go on.
Anyway,
go on. Live recording.
No. We'll nope out that right there.
Main event.
This is in the Discord.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on to the game of the year.
Yes, the thing we excluded to make this show a 7.
Yes, correct. Let's talk about the game of the year.
Fuck yeah.
It was all right.
Fuck.
This can't go on.
I don't know how.
Brilliant.
I put in the Discord, right? I asked the question, or made the point. This is going to be game of the year. And everyone knocked me back. All you fuckers in the chat. How can you say this won't be up there? Listen, Zelda. I think
that's his next big thing.
Yeah. People are in for a fucking surprise. They don't
Star
think it's going to win
Citizen,
game of the
No
year.
Man's Sky, Fallout, Elder Scrolls. It's all in there. Did you notice the magic powers at the very end of the trailer?
No.
Yes.
This is what these artifacts are. They use the Force at the end of it.
Aye.
I never noticed that.
It goes like this, and everyone starts floating in the air. It all went 0G. It looked fucking awesome.
There is so much in there because when I heard they were doing a deep dive, I normally tune out of these sort of things, especially when this thing is coming to Game Pass. I'll find out for myself. And they scratched the surface of everything. Building your character, so in depth. Building your spaceship, so in depth. Weapons,
I love. By the way, see
Lego.
your spaceship modifications. Holy shit! I'm in on that already.
And the thing that got me, I kept giving off. I was watching this with a group of friends, and I was like, all the combat in this, nobody's shooting back at you. You're just clearing out areas.
I made that point as a negative. I'm not convinced by the AI. I thought the gunplay looked very, very good. I think
really
as
good.
a marked improvement. I thought as a shooter,
there is rumors Id stepped in to help them out with this,
and
I can say that,
yeah. But I still that's the one kind of negative I wrote down was the AI. Nobody was firing back.
Mm-hmm.
Someone made a joke that's on Craig. It was on Craig mode. That's why they weren't fighting back. But
it's a possibility
that was
for a showpiece. Because later on, you got a few pirates that did kind of gang up. They hid behind things. They started getting into it a little bit more. The dog fighting in the ship looked very smart. Yeah. It looks like you can get outranked very quickly.
Mm-hmm. And listen, the No Man's Sky thing, listen, it's there. You can see there's, of course, there's bits I say, but listen, I love No Man's Sky, so I'm not complaining. But to just call it a No Man's Sky skin is a little bit ignorant, given everything else this has.
Who would do such a thing?
Well, of course, that's just the way it works, isn't it? You've got to have your, what is it, Craig? Your hyperbole.
I think that this game, I said in the Discord, I think this game looked like 5 games in one, and one of those games was No Man's Sky. But it was 20% No Man's Sky, and then it had everything on top of it. This game is so fucking ambitious.
Rich, insane. That was my first comment. I'm going to be blasting through the galaxy in a schlong.
I was mega impressed.
Sorry, Craig, didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're just like don't get me wrong. I started when they first started showing this today. I was on the fence, not just because we hadn't seen that much of it, but just because it's not really my type of game. But the more they showed, the deeper they went into like the mechanics and stuff like that. The shooting I thought was really good. I think this game, I can see why people shot you down about Game of the Year, Donnie, just because I feel like even, like, don't get me wrong, great studio, but I just don't see how they can do this much and do it all well. It looks like they are, but I don't know. I feel like it's so expansive. It's trying so much that it has to be doing some of it not well, almost. I don't know.
I think the only way it won't get Game of the Year, or certainly be right up there, is if it's a buggy mess, which I don't think it's going to be. The other thing, obviously, is the elephant in the room is the frame rate. Now, the problem is that reviewers and people who hand out these shitty awards that we all fawn over, they're very choosy when it suits, when frame rates matter and when they don't. So I don't think, even if it is 30, it'll be enough to hold it back, because look at Elden Ring. So I think they'll forgive everything else if it's 30, because look what you're getting. Look at this. Like, it looks like 5 games in one, like you said. Like, this is madness. Like, see, when they just kept showing more and more, I'm like, fucking hell, when is it going to end?
There is one thing so pleasing about building a spaceship and then just being a character inside it. It's like you decide where everything is. And sorry, I didn't mean to cut off.
No, one thing I would say though is that, see, when you saw the NPCs talking, you could instantly tell that it was a Bethesda game. Like, I think they still looked like dead mannequins.
It is.
They looked very good, but nah,
it's
like
not
the graphics were really good, but nah, it was a wee bit off.
Yeah, I'd agree, and I think, you know, there's one thing I've noticed on Twitter is a lot of people are picking holes in some of the facial animations and things, and, you know, go, look at Horizon. Listen,
I am liking the current trend of people going, "Why are you asking how many frames it is? They showed it to you. What was it?" And everybody kind of looking at each other. Was it 60 or 30?
I can't tell. Not from a trailer. Not from a trailer, I can't tell.
That's what are you on about? They showed you. It's 30 or 60.
They didn't show it, though.
Yes, they did nothing but show it.
When?
They did a deep dive that was 40 minutes.
They showed the gameplay.
Yeah.
But we don't know if that was on Xbox, if it was on PC.
Yeah, it was on Xbox. It was on the stars.
Well, what do you think?
Right at the bottom of the screen.
Do you think it was 30 or 60 then?
I think it was sitting at about 45. The dogfight scenes were 60. Definitely. But because I've seen people calling each other out on Twitter, which is a little hobby of mine, they've said, well, they showed you the gameplay. The stream itself wasn't 60. What was it in? And you've got people throwing it back to each other, like ping pong. Which is a fantastic way of finding out who can tell how many frames something is.
Okay.
If it was 60, they would have said.
If it's 30, they would have said too.
Nah, I think they'd hide that.
Not necessarily. Given how much they've shown off and how much is in the game, how proud they are of this technical achievement, this once-in-a-generation game, has to run at 30 to get it all in there. Oh, yeah, but sure, look at everything it's doing. What's the problem? They neither said or neither confirmed. It's an interesting position.
Yeah, but Phil did say that they would
make it clear before release.
They would make it clear, which I said they've got a lot of time yet.
But that goes back to like I
showed it to people, and they don't know.
But they're showing it on a stream. You know what I mean? Like, I watched it on a secondhand stream because I watched, I watched as a commentator stream. So yeah, I mean, visually there was parts of it that looked terrible as well, but I know that's not how it looks. I'm watching on a secondhand stream here. you know. But no, I think they just telling it, or sorry, not telling you outright, I think is a bit sneaky. And Phil has said they won't do that. They will make it clear.
Well, you said they'll make everybody clear before launch.
That's
Well,
the thing.
they haven't done that yet. They haven't made it.
It hasn't launched yet.
That's
No,
the
of course,
thing.
no. I said that. They've got time. I do appreciate that, but I
Yeah.
thought they
It's-
got told that today. They're doing the direct
But
today.
they showed you, and you don't know. It's...
Well, yeah, but they haven't announced it. They haven't told anyone.
No, they've shown you.
And hiding it.
Everybody's
behind...
asking. Well, we don't know. We can't tell the difference. I was like, then why are you so hung up on it?
Yeah, but hiding behind a stream.
They're not hiding. They've shown you.
So you definitely think it'll be 60 then?
The flying scenes were 60. I know without a shadow of a doubt they were. The rest of it, no. Gunfighting looks smooth, but I couldn't guarantee it was 30 or 60.
See, again, I thought that it was very, like, there's so much, like, Xbox are very good at, they'll say something and people will be like, right, so this is what's happening, and it doesn't happen, and then you look back and you go, all right, that's actually what they said, because people keep doing this over and over again. Like, yeah, Phil said, we will make it clear to you before launch, and so everyone turned around and went, that means June 11th. They didn't fucking say June 11th. And so I went on Twitter and there's loads of people going, they fucking lied to us. And you're like, well, they didn't lie to you. They said something and then we thought this and then this happened. And so, but it's something that you would not, it's a conclusion you would naturally come to. It's only when you look back at it and go, all right, fair enough. Aye, that is what they said. All right, okay. But see, honestly, it's the type of game, I'm not trying to, like, I have no dog in a fight when it comes to Starfield. I'm still kind of on the fence. I think I will play it, but it's not one of my 3 most anticipated games of the year or anything like that. But I do think it's a game that can get away with 30 FPS. If it does, I don't think it will be that big of an issue. I think it will be much more of an optical issue online when people absolutely fucking can it for it. But I think in terms of when you actually play it, I don't think it's going to matter that much.
It's just that certain sects of the internet, they cling to this. If this was 30, then the entire show was moot. And they can't work out if it was moot or not. They don't know.
But that's the thing.
It entertains me.
A lot of people that are saying that, well, because Zelda's going to get Game of the Year, it was fucking 30 at best. Like, so it's like the race of the 30 FPS games for fucking Game of the Year. Well, maybe not. We need to see how good Spider-Man is. Maybe it comes in and fucking puts them all in a wee ball.
No, Diablo. Diablo's the one sneaking in there, not Spider-Man.
Phantom Liberty, sorry, as well. DLC of the year.
Citizen Sleeper 2 has been announced at the PC show, and I've been sat chatting to you pricks. As we were talking Game of the Year, if it is.
Yeah. What about anything else in Starfield that you'd like to look of? I liked, by the way, I liked the attention to detail where they took sections, like they said, when you're in low gravity and how you react to that and how certain guns react to gravity. I thought that's a nice touch. That's a really nice, like some of the guns will actually fire you, you'll actually float backwards and things. Thought that's pretty fucking cool,
Because it is an old thing. Why would you choose between energy weapons or ballistic? Well, there are reasons.
Suits gravity. Yeah, it suits gravity. I like, again, nice touch.
And if you were on a planet that had, say, flammable gas, you don't want to use energy weapons. You need to stick with something that won't ignite it.
Yeah. So, yeah. No.
Baz, I may just have to tell them to get fucked and leave. It has gone well over half an hour, and that's all I'm fit for.
Just going back to what you said there, see that scene where they went into Zero G and he shot and he went back the way? That was fucking cool. It was such a little thing, but I was like, I don't know, that to me is indicative of the lengths they've went to put fine details in the game. So it's not even just that being cool. It's like, right, where else have they went to that level of detail that's going to be fucking cool? I thought there was stealth in it as well, by the way. That's when it really started to fucking turn the corner for me.
Game.
Talked about sneaking and pickpocketing folk and stuff like that.
Yeah. I did some of it that I thought their presentation was good, but I had to chuckle at myself when they were like, "Oh yeah, when you level up, you get a skill point." Oh really? Huh.
Aye, that was weird.
What a new phenomenon for a video game, you know?
Aye, that was weird. It was quite in depth, though. To be fair, see the
Yeah,
whole
it
they
was.
went about four menus deep, and you were putting one
Aye.
point into this. But
Yeah.
aye, that's not exactly a new concept, is it?
Yeah, no. But apart from that, I thought they presented it really well. I thought the people they got on and things, a good mix of different areas of the game, which was quite cool. You didn't just see Todd, and he was missing his shit leather jacket. You saw varying people, which I thought was a nice touch. People obviously put a lot of hard work into it, so yeah, I like that.
I've got one more poll that we put up, and it was about Starfield. What is your hype levels after the show? 128 votes, and we had 48% saying it was off the charts, 23% saying they were pretty excited, 11% on the fence, and 18% not interested. So again, not as positive as the other two, but I mean, you're talking
So basically,
almost
70% are hyped for it. Then
aye, 71% are hyped for it. So I mean, that's pretty good going because you are going to
game of this caliber being given away free in a subscription service. And again, this isn't console warring. It's just holy fuck, Game Pass fodder.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they've got the is it 35 quid upgrade for the 5 days early, which I'm assuming they're going to make a fortune on.
We're going to buy that one with the watch.
Yeah, or the watch. I mean, if you're that
cool.
hyped for this, then you'll pay the 35 quid. Fuck, I paid an extra tenner to get Diablo 3 days early. So a game that you're that hyped for, I think they're going to make a fortune off that 35 quid upgrade straight away.
5 days early is pretty good going as well.
That's a lot.
That's a decent chunk.
Yeah.
Aye, that's enticing.
Yeah, because the FOMO was real.
Aye. Yeah. Oh, they're going to make a mint off it. An absolute mint.
Okay, well, we have sort of reached the end of our discussion and reaction to the Xbox showcase. Is there any kind of closing thoughts, omissions, things that you might have seen that didn't appear?
Anything missing? The only
Double Fine.
I mean, yeah, or maybe like the Indiana Jones, maybe little thing there, but
that Double Fine, not a major product, something like Psychonauts, but they've been known to make smaller projects. I thought it would have been nice to have something to kind of spice up the Game Pass roster. Yeah. Where the fuck was Silksong?
Yeah. That, I mean, our boy who made an appearance, that's what he watched it, hoping for that, and it did not appear. So,
well, they did email it out saying it was delayed. Even after doing that, was not enough to temper expectations.
Rich is saying he'd be all over that if Baldur's Gate wasn't out the week before. I'm assuming you'll be all over. I'm assuming he's meaning the Starfield 5 days early. Is that what he's meaning there?
Probably.
So yeah. So Rich is hot on Baldur's Gate 3.
$300 for that watch. How much is that in real money?
Thing is, I mean, what are the chances of getting that collector's edition anyway? That's
it would be a very rare chance of getting that.
Do we know when it's going live? Because I see the controllers are live because Rich has picked one up.
The store has crashed.
Has it? Fuck.
Yeah.
I'm sure the Pip Boys that came with Fallout 4, they were
still have mine.
going for a hell of a lot of money, were they not?
Yeah. Oh, they still are,
You'd treble your money on that collector's edition straight away, wouldn't you? Or you certainly double it anyway.
It can only be shipped within the United States, and nobody's been able to get on the website since it went live.
Wankers.
Jeez. Well, I mean, look, see, in terms of stuff missing from the show, I think there was plenty missing. Like, I thought, obviously, but it was stuff that I almost expected to be. So, like, a lot of people were like, well, will we see Halo? I didn't think we'd see anything from Halo. We didn't. We didn't see anything from Gears, Indiana Jones. We didn't see Contraband. I expected that to show up. Like, I mean, that seems to have gone completely dark. State of Decay 3 seems to not be in a great way.
It's all right. There'll be a second showcase. Isn't that the coping mechanism that's under this?
Don't need to get another one in November.
They saved all the good stuff for that one. It's going to be great.
Yeah. Jeff Grubb heard a rumor there'll be another one.
Aye, he'll be straight on the blower. But yeah, I mean, there's clearly lots of stuff. Like, that's just what was that other one? there's loads they didn't show, but I think
Bastard, I wanted that fucking watch.
I feel like Xbox, I said this on Discord, but I feel like Xbox are the ones getting it the most out of the fact that games take longer to develop now, because PlayStation they are seeing the people getting upset over games that are now taking 5 or 6 years. But with Xbox, they made the mistake of, at the time when this was going to longer developments, they also announced too early. And so Indiana Jones was announced when they had a fucking whip. That's all they had. And so, like, you're talking probably 2026. And, like, we are eventually going to have to get to the point when we go, right, okay, these things take a long fucking time.
There's you're in two separate camps. Would you rather have like a bare release schedule? Because some people, they don't seem to have anything incoming, whereas Xbox have so much incoming, but none of it ready.
Aye.
So it's the same problem, just two different shapes of it.
Yeah. And the problem is that hype sells. And if you know 30 games that are coming out now, whether it's next year, whether it's 2 years, whether it's if you can sit and rhyme off all the games, that sells, and it sells consoles, and it sells Game Pass, because you know it's coming. But you're right, if you only knew about the games within 12 months, you wouldn't have the same hype. So I get it. It's catch-22. I hate it as well. Like I said, I made the point. We've been hearing about Fable, Avowed, and Hellblade for 3, 4, 5 years. Maybe not 5, but do you want to hear about stuff that's more than 2 years away? Not really, unless it's a sequel. Do you know what I mean? I was annoyed that we never, at the PlayStation 1, we didn't even just get a little glimpse of Jin Sakai, and for Ghost of Tsushima 2, just a little thing to say, here's just a little
doing cartwheels.
Just something to say that, listen, it's a few years away, but we are making it, and here's a little teaser. That's fine, I think, as a sequel, because it's happening. Or that Days Gone 2 or Days Gone sequel that I predicted is clearly not happening. Scratch one for the wrong prediction for me there, But it's catch-22, Craig. I don't know what the right answer is, because we all get frustrated at stuff that's light years away, but then we moan we don't know anything.
All we have to do is wait. Look, I mean, I think the thing is, like, in closing, I don't think there's any way that you could sit and have watched the PlayStation Showcase, Summer Game Fest, and that show tonight and not be like, holy fuck, as a gamer, I am mega excited for what's coming. You'd have to be dead inside.
Which one of us isn't fully boarded with games at the minute?
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's insane. There's to be fair, this is a controversial point. There's arguably too much. Really, yeah. If you look at all the games we saw in the last 2 weeks, it's insane. Because you think everything
so strange in that element, because you would never hope to read every book published in a year, or see every movie, or listen to every album. But when it's games, it's like, I have to play them all. You can't. Yep.
And what was interesting, I thought, tonight was all the third-party games that Sony showed 2 weeks ago. That Xbox obviously put out the tweet saying we've got them all coming too. They didn't show any of those tonight, so it's not as if we had to double dip. So that's more games as well, So it's
apparently there is a 48 to 72 hour embargo announcing them on other platforms. So they must have been worried somebody would pull the same trick on them. There's no tweet going up tonight saying, "Well, this is all coming to us too."
Yes. I see people have made their own ones.
Oh, have they?
Yeah. Yeah, there's been the fanboy mock-ups doing the same thing. We've got them as well.
I just think, like we just said there, like, we sit here and we go, oh, it's a shame that these games are so far away. But at the same point, like, everyone's like, oh, I want this game now. But do you? Because we've got so much to play just now that if this stuff comes, then like, you're just not going to get to it anyway. Like, it's almost like there is that sort of, oh, I want it now, like kid at Christmas type of thing, but because it's not as if we don't have a constant state of games.
It's as expansive as they've kind of shown. That's going to take up a chunk of time. This is another Tears of the Kingdom. This is going to be the water cooler game. Well, I went here and I found this, and did you know if you do this, it triggers that? And
absolutely.
I want that watch.
I dread to think how big Starfield could be in terms of time. I dread to
If I
forget.
see some cunt walking about with that watch, I'm going to mug him.
Right, exactly.
Punch him in the face.
I'll take the front tooth out.
Oh,
Punch
goodness
him in
me.
the face.
Are you getting
Okay.
it, Ryan?
Right, well, a special thank you to Craig Dunningpunk, who provided their insightful analysis and reaction to the show. Thank you also to our lovely listeners and everyone who's been leaving comments in the chat. Yes, whip whip, Craig. But yeah, that is all we have time for tonight. Yeah, we will be back with another live very soon, I'm sure. But in the meantime, you can catch up on our weekly podcast episodes every Thursday. And for everything else, if you head to puredeadgaming.com.
Thanks very
And that
much
is
for
it.
that. Always a pleasure, never a chore.
Thanks
Thank
very
you
much,
very
Punk.
much.
Donate, Jess. You are all wonderful. Mwah.
Goodbye.
Doesn't replace you.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Get fucked.